streamlined, effective, hardly any sugar. Just kidding, there's no sugar at all, and I'm not even sponsored, which is why pure gum is killer. And I just want to say, oh my gosh, exactly what the box said! Thank you so much to, there's quite a few people. I always loved growing up, my mom would come home and surprise me and my brother with, I mean, I've discovered quite a few things because of just kind surprises. The cake pops from Starbucks, which are really good. Some of the best donuts I've ever had from Daylight Donuts. One time my mom came home with Dunkin Donuts, and then in there was a Boston cream pie donut, which ended up becoming my favorite donut to this day. And we never asked for that. And I think that goes a long way. In fact, the 3 of those things you just saw earlier, they actually all were related to surprise gifts. The pure gum I bought, but one of our community members, Pint, he's been super kind, wanting to give me a lot of pure gum. I guess he has a lot of extra on Pint. Keep it stashed. It's good gum. I appreciate it. I never once asked, but he always wants to give the extra stash to me. But it's okay, man. The box was actually recently from my brother. We actually were able to try out a Tim Hortons in Kansas City, which I've been wanting to try for a few years. I've been talking to Cool Dude, great moderator in our community. I've known him for around 2 years now, and he lives in Canada, and I know he likes the Tim bits. And I've always wanted to try Tim Hortons, and yeah, they're really good. So we tried that. And then my brother has had Swig. We went there too. Seems like a pretty cool place. But while we were there, I was like, oh, can we stop by Walmart? I need to buy a water heater. And because my last coffee maker finally broke, right? I was going to buy a water heater and a heating plate. And I was going to use what was left of the machine. I didn't want to just throw it all away. And as I'm saying that and driving, my brother asked the coffee machine brand, and I did not expect this at all. He just orders it right there, and orders it even with 1 day delivery time, which yeah, no need. But I'm fine in waiting for stuff in the delivery. But it's the fact that my brother did that and ordered the machine. Now that is such a kind gift. It's working well, I'll tell you that. In fact, some of the components of the machine, I can tell the company has improved upon since last time for my last machine. And then this awesome Yoshi bead art was a surprise gift by Romeo. Goes by the username Lasagna or Solstice, and he made this when he joined the Pew Pew card in game kind of Smash Brothers community back in 2014. And a little bit later, he knew that I made Yoshi, and he told me that he was working on something related to Yoshi and Super Mario Kart. He said, hey, I'm gonna make you a Yoshi bead art. What sprite do you want? And I told him, oh yeah, Super Mario Kart would be cool. It's my favorite Mario Kart and one of my favorite fictional characters. And he just surprised me pretty fast with a turnaround at Pew Pew Card in Game with this. I've had it ever since, and it really is things like that where these surprises you don't ask for, but there's a little bit of thoughtful effort put into it. It really does go a long way. And I think, again, back to my mom surprising us with all this food and kind gifts. She's gotten me so much shirts in and out of Christmas time and birthdays. It makes an impact. And I think it makes a big deal in how I try to do that for other people. I think those things go a long way. You take a thoughtful risk. I talk about fighting games. I talk about competitive Super Smash Brothers, Street Fighter, and a lot of those things. To be a successful competitor, you often have to make calculated risks. You have to make predictive risks. And I think gift giving is a part of that. Obviously, there's great Christmas and birthday gifts, but I think outside of that, that's when it really dials up, because it's not that you should expect gifts on your birthday and Christmas. I do think people deserve kind presents. I think it's a good gesture. I think that sets the template. I honestly, I think a yearly birthday and Christmas are related to Christmas holidays. I think those set the template of understanding the person more and what type of gifts they love, because they will tell you in a lot of cases what they might want. And then you use that knowledge for giving them things outside of that. Just every now and then, surprise them. It really does. A small thing goes a long way. I've seen memes about, I don't want anything. And it's like, oh, okay. Hey, I'm going to McDonald's. What do you want? Oh, nothing. Oh, okay. Comes back, and then the person's super mad. You didn't catch my double eyebrow raise at 5 a.m., meaning that I want a large fry? No. And, at the core of it all, it's all about communication. And I think in the terms of healthy relationships, communication is key. And then when you communicate, you understand, oh, my partner likes fries from McDonald's. Okay, next time I go, I am going to get a large fry, right? Even if they don't want it, then I'll eat it later, right? And I'll tell you, I actually think large, medium, small, but, just bringing home fries, I think makes a big impact for whoever you're with, as a dating partner or just a life partner. Unless they can't eat fries at all, but what a perfect, hey, I got you something gift. To the point that, full circle, my mom, every now and then we'd go through the drive-thru and she's like, I don't want anything. I'd be like, okay. And then as we start driving, she's like, okay, I'll have a fry. She might eat one or two. Yeah. Seriously, perfect. It basically is a perfect, it's a perfect snack-like gift. And, really, I brought you some fries is the perfect gesture. And I think it's a good skill to keep analyzing what your friends and family like, and every now and then surprise them. Those surprises go a long way, and that's the funny part. It really is the thought that plays a big part, the thought that you understand who they are. Because even if you just got your partner one rose, and even if the rose was on sale, the fact that you got them that, and it was just in it was on April 10th, right? No birthday, no Christmas. They come home and they see a rose in a vase for them. Write a little card. Things like that go a long way. You put some time and effort into giving them something, and it's a thoughtful something, right? It's not just the meme about after a white elephant gift, they try to repackage it and send it to someone else because they don't want it. Yeah, you probably shouldn't give someone what is the equivalent to you almost wanting to throw it away. But yeah, I think it goes a long way. And just like this awesome Yoshi beat art, I happened to actually catch on Facebook before I started recording today. I actually caught Romeo's boyfriend, who was surprised by him and flowers. Oh my gosh, dude, you're killing it. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. It is, we live in a world where people say time is money and everyone's busy all the time. So just think about the impact alone of, hey, I got you some fries, and how much that can mean to someone, even years later, thinking about that. It's, even if they forget the ketchup and mustard, you know what? I got you some fries. Tried and true, classic, thoughtful. I love Mondays.